KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back and welcome to Friday Eve, getting ready for the big holiday weekend. And per usual, the Labor Day holiday weekend, we're usually tracking a storm somewhere. This time it's going to be East Coast, not Gulf of Mexico. That is the good news for us, although we may see a little development in the Gulf, but nothing to get worried about. Dorian's going to be the big story, and it's going to be a Florida problem and an East Coast problem more than likely as well. That's the way we're seeing it at this point. Now, today, a hot day, fewer showers across the area as expected. Actually, we're still seeing a few pop-ups here and there along the coast, and one or two isolated cells, one south of Crowley here, another one in northwestern Jeff Davis Parish. But overall, it's going to be a quiet night with generally fair to partly cloudy skies. Still warm and humid conditions. Our drier air doesn't get here until tomorrow night going into Saturday, so it's going to be another hot one tomorrow. But rain chances continue to go down as the atmosphere gets a little bit drier, but we can't rule out an isolated storm or two. Tomorrow, rain chance at about 10%. Meanwhile, in the tropics, we have the remnants of Erin going through Halifax, Nova Scotia, heading for Newfoundland as well. And in its wake, high pressure building in. And that's important because that's going to be guiding and influencing Hurricane Dorian. Hurricane hunters going in here this evening and finding pressures had dropped significantly since earlier today. We're seeing a larger central dense overcast. You see this purple right here where you have what's called hot towers. This is where you have the lightning. No visible eye yet, but we'll probably see one starting tomorrow, and has strengthened to a Category 2 storm. 105 mile an hour winds, gusts higher than that, moving to the northwest at about 12. And new tonight at 10 o'clock, the forecast track has not changed a whole lot. It's a little bit farther to the south in deference to the European model and the Icon model. But on top of that, look at the numbers here. 140 mile per hour storm, and somewhere in here it may even be a little bit stronger. So it goes to a Category 3 tomorrow morning, 115 mile an hour winds. That's just 10 miles an hour more than what we have right now. And then as it gets to the coast, it's also going to slow. So that increases the damage potential. It increases the surge issue. It increases the rainfall. And then after that, if you extrapolate the tropical models, most of them bring the system to the north, maybe extreme northeastern Gulf of Mexico, but it'll be short-lived as a trough picks this up and then pushes it off to the north. In fact, these are the steering influences, and looking at the upper level pattern, we're going to have a ridge of high pressure to the west and another Bermuda ridge. That's that ridge coming in that extends all the way to the southeast. And the question is, how strong will it be over the southeast? For right now, this is going to force the storm mainly more toward a west or west-southwest jog, and then it will begin to see an opening as a trough comes out of the Midwest and through the Great Lakes. So it should kind of thread the needle between the two ridges of high pressure and then move to the north. But that also keeps Louisiana safe, and that is certainly good news for us. Bad news for our friends off to the east. So let's look at the moisture first on the European model. Notice all the moisture here in the Gulf of Mexico. Broad area low pressure possible here, but not affecting us. And then we have Dorian here producing that heavy rainfall and then moving north along the coast. So we get into the actual deterministic model, which we don't really like to show, but the European is the best one we have. It shows two things: broad low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico, but we don't think we're going to see a big tropical development here. And then, of course, Dorian off to the east. And you see this, whatever this is going to be heading toward Mexico, perhaps Texas, and just keep us dry. Meanwhile, Dorian, watch this, hugging right along the coast. That's the earlier run. We'll have another run coming on in tonight at 2 a.m. that you'll see on GMA. But this could also mean the storm may turn before the east coast of Florida, but that is not a likely scenario, especially with that forecast track now moving farther to the south. So we'll continue to watch it for our friends off to the east, and with that storm, there's going to be a stripe of 15 to 20 inches of rain as well. So it's going to be one heck of a storm, and unfortunately a bad one for some folks in Florida. Could be the entire peninsula after all is said and done. Our weather stays nice and quiet through tomorrow. Temperatures get into the lower 90s, heat index near 100, and as we head into Saturday, even drier, dew points coming down, so lower 70s. And then Saturday afternoon we'll get up to 90, but notice that feels like temperature not as bad. We'll have a northeast wind, so feeling better. You see some showers out in the Gulf with that broad area of low pressure. Some of those showers may come in here as we go into late Sunday afternoon, also on Labor Day, but rain chance 20-30% Sunday, 30-40% for Monday, Labor Day. So a few showers near the coast and around and about, but overall quiet night. 74 the low tonight, 92 the high tomorrow, mostly sunny skies with the rain chance down. That heat index once again near 100. And as we go through the next 5 days and then going into to the first full week of September, it looks more like an August forecast with highs back into the 90s and pushing the mid to maybe even upper 90s toward the end of next week, following weekend. And then maybe we start getting away from those higher 90s and head more toward 80s down
the countdown to those fronts
the
begins.
countdown to the fronts, absolutely.
For sure. Thanks,
right.
Rob.